A season-long journey follows a path to greatness. A destination. A dream. A quest for excellence. It's your time. A time to compete for a place in Nebraska sports history. Great moments are earned here. Play like a champion. Welcome to the NSAA Boys State Basketball Championships on NET.
NET Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports, is live from the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2014 NSAA State Basketball Championships. And kicking off our afternoon session in Class B, it's a showdown between Omaha Skutt and the Beatrice Orangemen. Hello again, everybody. I'm Larry Putney, along with former Husker Andy Markowski. Great to have you with us. Andy Kendi will be joining us a bit later, but here's another showdown between two River Cities Conference teams. This conference has owned state championships. They've won 9 of the last 10. South Sioux City, Ralston, Beatrice, Skutt. They've all won state titles over that time, and these two get to score off for a third time, a rubber match for a state championship.
Yeah, they certainly play tough schedules. They're both battle-tested, and today is going to be a grind-out war. If you look at Skutt, can they handle the emotion of coming off an emotional win against Elkhorn South? Undefeated, were they expected to probably not win? They came out and were the aggressor. They handled the full court pressure. Now it's going to be the half-court pressure of Beatrice defense. How does Skutt handle that will determine the game for Beatrice. Beatrice's resiliency. They lost to Skutt earlier in the year, came back and won. They lost to York early in the year, came back and won. Can that resiliency, the grit and the determination of Beatrice lead them to a state title? It's going to be a great game, one of the highlights of the day.
Should be a good one. Beatrice and Skutt, they battle it for the Class B state championship. It's coming up next right here on NET Sports.
Cheer for your team and be there for all of the excitement. For championship ticket information, visit the Nebraska School Activities Association's website.
No matter how you look at it, animal agriculture helps Nebraska's economy. The livestock industry provides increased tax revenues for schools and community services. Livestock enterprises also create jobs while contributing to existing businesses such as local banks and grocery stores. A thriving livestock industry helps maintain our current way of life, but also provides opportunities for the next generation of farm families. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff helps to raise awareness of the importance of animal agriculture to Nebraska.
This stage is nowhere near Broadway, and none of these actors will be accepting an Oscar anytime soon. Still, they are rehearsing for something important. While they learn their lines, they're also learning teamwork, discipline, self-confidence, that everyone has a part to play. Skills that will make them stars long after the curtain falls. The National Federation of State High School Associations reminds you that when kids take part in high school activities, they get set for life.
Turn to PBS for stories that define the American experience.
All of this stuff was just erupting.
Revealing our strengths.
You create a new future.
Our struggles.
It's very American to say, this is not right.
These are our stories.
We were so innocent, and oddly enough, we were so American.
Our American experience.
Back at Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska for the Class B State Championship. Time to meet the competitors. For that, let's go to our public address announcer. Here's Rich Broderson.
The Nebraska School Activities Association's member schools welcome you to the 2014 NSAA Boys State Basketball Championships.
Oh, just in case you get confused and look.
U.S. Bank, U.S. Cellular, Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association, Harbors Mutual Insurance, Baden, Nebraska Orthopedic Sports Medicine, St. Elizabeth Regional Medical Center, Caleb Photography, Cliff Keen, Axe Preps, and Custom Sports. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pinnacle Bank Arena for today's Class B Boys Championship game between the 21-6 Omaha Skutt Catholic Skyhawks and the 22-2 Beatrice Orangemen. Let's meet the teams. First, the non-starters for Omaha Skutt Catholic. Number 3, Brendan Lofgren. Number 5, Alec Zainchek. Number 14, Michael White. Number 20, Matt Harrison. Number 22, Isaiah Ramsey. Number 25, Eric Rudin. Number 32, Matt Gilreath. Number 40, Conrad Shue. And number 42, Adam Hanna. And now the non-starters for Beatrice. Number 4, Braden Murrison. Number 10, Ty Barnsley. Number 12, Heath Hubendick. Number 21, Christian Hardig. Number 23, Jalen Weeks. Number 24, Zach Pinkerton. Number 30, Dakota Buss. Number 32, Andrew Veneman. And number 34, Devin Stewart. And now, here's the starting lineup for the Omaha Skutt Catholic Skyhawks. A 5'10" senior, number 10, Ty O'Brien. A 5'9" senior, number 12, Chris Harrison. A 6'3" junior, number 30, Wills Walrack. A 6'3" senior, number 45, Ryan Boda. And a 6'6" sophomore, number 55, Nick Boda. The assistant coaches for the Skyhawks are Dave Eckley, Brian Midlick, Jason Schlottman, Andy McMahon, and Jeff Weiss. The head coach for Omaha Skutt Catholic is Kyle Jurgens. And now here's the starting lineup for the Beatrice Orangemen. A 5'9" senior, number 3, Hunter Zarvanicki. A 6'1" sophomore, number 11, Landon Zarvanicki. A 6'3" senior, number 20, Riley Zimmerman. A 6'4" senior, number 33, Reese Gronwald. And a 6'6" sophomore, number 44, Alec Cromer. The assistant coaches for the Orangemen are Dick Stewart, Vanessa, Larry Zavanicki, and Lucas Laughlin. And the head coach for Beatrice, Tyler Struck. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for today's Class B Championship game are Ryan Bochansky, Ray Erdman, and Richard Buckman. The bench official is Mr. Chris Van Meter.
Ready to go here in the Class B State Championship. The Beatrice Orangemen at 22-2, taking on the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks at 21-6. Beatrice about 45 miles south of our current location here in Lincoln. Omaha Skutt about 50 miles northeast of our current location here at the Pinnacle Bank Arena. This is how they got here. Beatrice beat Roncalli by 2, then knocked off York in a rematch by 9. It was Skutt beating Scotts Bluff 58-49, and then that great game with Elkhorn South. They win at 66-59. Elkhorn South was #1 ranked, at #1 seeded, and unbeaten. This should be a good one, Andy.
No, absolutely. Two teams that have been winners. They've won 4 state titles between the two programs since 2005. They know how to win. They have good players that make big-time plays. Zimmerman for Beatrice, look for the ball to go through him. Walrap for Skutt that had 26 last night in the semifinals.
Cromer wins the tip. Beatrice controls to start it off. Zarbanicki off to Gronewald.
Skutt starts with their man-to-man. Trying to use their athleticism. Beatrice is comfortable playing a very slow style. If that's the game that Skutt wants to play, Beatrice is probably more comfortable in a slower tempo than a faster tempo.
Here's Hunter Zarbanicki, the 5'9" senior, with it up top. As they reset, run the offense. Zimmerman. Now Zarbanicki.
So many times these games are decided by more of the complementary players. Cromer hits the big 3 to send the game in overtime for Beatrice. Can he step up and have a nice game inside? Can the Zarbanicki brothers find ways to score for Skutt? Those are all things that determine big games, and obviously this is a big game playing for a state title.
Good defense for Skutt, and very patient for the Orange as they run off 1:30 here on this first possession. So Cromer now with it. Gronewald now. Baseline goes off the hand of Ty O'Brien, and it will stay with the Orange. There's Kyle Juergens. As we said, his first year, 21-6. Not a bad start at Skutt. Find yourself in a state championship.
A lot of times at state, you play teams that you've never seen before. That's not the case here. They play twice a year in the same conference, so you can see the familiarity. Skutt obviously knows Beatrice's offense. They're making it very difficult for them to even get the ball into the lane.
Gronewald with it. Goes inside. Tipped away. Stays with Zarbanicki. Now to Cromer. Left-handed dribble drive. Cromer off the glass. And the patience pays off for the Orange. 2-zip. Chewed up 2.5 minutes on that first possession.
See Beatrice, traditional man-to-man. I don't know if there's been any zone defense played in Beatrice in a lot of years since Coach Weeks was down there. Now moved on to the collegiate level.
And a charge call. Drawing that charge is Reese Gronewald, the 6'4" senior.
Really good job of maintaining proper body position. Stay between the ball and the basket. Coach Struck has done a tremendous job of picking up where Coach Weeks left the program. Fundamentally tough kids, play together. If you're going to beat Beatrice, you're going to bring a lunch pail. It's going to be a 32-minute game.
You know, you really see it at all the age groups, too. In the younger ages, they come up to Lincoln, they play in the Spirit Leagues and the Select Leagues, and these are kids that travel and commit and dedicate themselves to basketball.
Yeah, it's important. You know, the Wahoo Newman game to start with. It's important for the community of Beatrice, and I think the kids play with that passion. They're well coached and play as a team.
3 from outside. Ty O'Brien knocks it down.
And that's what you have to do against Beatrice's half-court defense. You're not going to be able to drive the ball to the basket, but you can drive, force help, and create a shot for a teammate. That time, open for the 3 and knocked it in to take a 3-2 lead.
Zarbanicki with it. Off to Cromer. Inside to Cromer. To Landon Zarbanicki. And a hold called against the Skyhawks. That foul's going to be on Ryan Boda. And Boda picks up 2 fouls here halfway through period number 1, and Boda will take a seat. Isaiah Ramsey now in the game, the 6'3" junior. Ramsey was the quarterback on that state championship football team as Cromer knocks down the jumper.
Shows his versatility. First basket he drove from the three-point line, got all the way to the basket. There, steps out to a 15-foot area, knocked in the jump shot.
Long three knocked down by Chris Harrison. Two threes from Omaha Skutt. They have a 6-4 lead. Zarbanicki drives in, has it swatted away by Nick Boda. Ty O'Brien loses control, and then it will stay with the Skyhawks. As the ball went out off of the Orangemen. There's Ty Bardsley into the game. We are midway through period number 1. Skutt with a 6-4 lead.
When something's difficult, like defying gravity or navigating the new healthcare law, why face it alone? Call or visit us at the Blue Store at nebraskablue.com. Ask Blue your questions like, what's required? And can I get help paying for it? Then rely on Blue to help you navigate the system. Most Nebraskans are required to have health insurance or face penalties. Time is almost up. Get what you need. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
When you've been around for more than a century, you understand the power of generations, the value of nurturing and developing those who will carry on the legacy of agriculture and food production. That's why the Aurora Cooperative helps young people gain the experience, expertise, and wisdom to feed the world, be good stewards, become responsible community leaders, and continue setting the example for the generations that follow. The Aurora Cooperative, growing opportunities.
Skutt leads Beatrice midway through the first quarter of this Class B championship game. I had a chance to talk to both head coaches just before tip-off, and I talked to Beatrice head coach Tyler Strong. He said his message to his team was to simply believe. Believe in each other. That team chemistry and staying together has been the key to the Orangemen's late season run. As for Skutt, Kyle Jurgens, I asked him about nerves. And, you know, this is Skutt's first trip to the finals in 4 years. Jurgens said that he hopes defensive energy hopes to wear off some of those nerves as Skutt looks for their first title since 2007. The Orange really making Skutt work for that.
Chris Harrison with that last three-pointer. He's got 2 threes here early. Skutt on top, 9-4.
Yeah, Skutt now 3 of 3 from the 3. Certainly a good start offensively in a very low possession game. Beatrice took about 2 minutes that first possession to really shorten this first quarter.
Off of Skutt. It will go the other way, Beatrice ball.
Low possession games, you certainly want to monitor the turnover stats. Also loose balls, all the 50-50 balls that Beatrice has prided themselves on. Skutt needs to make sure that they match those 50-50 balls and create those extra possessions.
Bardsley off the dribble. Tipped away, had man open underneath, but Nick Boda got a hand on it. Now inside, back to Nick Boda, turns around, and a foul on Alex Cromer. That'll put Nick Boda at the line.
Boda's had a really productive sophomore season, averaging just under 10 points at 9.7 and also 9 rebounds a game. Really gives Skutt that balance offensively. You've seen their ability to make perimeter jump shots, 3 of 3 to start the game. And now you can go into a 6-5 post and have a presence, forces you to be really difficult to defend.
Michael White into the game for Skutt as you look at Nick Boda. Second one off. Rebound by Zarbnicki. And a foul on Isaiah Ramsey. Got his arm tied up in there.
Cromer has contributed all 4 points for Beatrice. They're going to have to be creative on trying to get Zimmerman 20 shots, now moving him to kind of the point guards, putting the ball in his hands.
White picks up the foul, his first. And now 4 team fouls here with 2 minutes to go in period number 1.
Zimmerman has a real knack of getting fouled. Great body control on these dribble drives. Gets a lot of free throw attempts throughout the game.
Drive. Can't finish. Ramsey with it. Ramsey kicks it up top. Harrison. Waldrep drives in. Can't get it to go. Tipped up by Boda, and Nick Boda called for the foul. A shove in the back by Nick Boda. That's his first personal foul.
A really solid half-court defense by Beatrice. Helped on drive. Was able to block out. Make sure you secure the rebound. Fundamentally very sound in the half-court defense.
Little floater in the lane, won't go. Rebound Boda. Waldrep. Kick back out to Harrison. His three is off. Rebound underneath. Waldrep can't get it to go. Ball squirts out of there. Picked up by Zimmerman. Ty Bardsley looks inside, can't find Cromer. Darbanicki inside to Cromer. Thought somebody was waiting in a corner.
Yeah, right idea for Beatrice. They're trying to use Cromer in some high pick and rolls to try to force some help situations and then roll him back inside, try to play inside, outside. Skutt is probably the more athletic team in terms of, just position for position athleticism, maybe a little bit more depth. So Beatrice is going to have to play through Cromer in the post to create better offensive possessions.
Ty O'Brien back in off the dribble. They'll take it back out. Holding for a last shot here. 5 seconds to go. Period number 1. Kicks it out. White three on the way. Rattles out. And that's where we are after 1. The Skyhawks lead the Orangemen. It's 10-4 in the Class B state championship game.
When we transform Nebraska corn into ethanol, it doesn't disappear from the food supply. It just takes a little detour. Ethanol is made from the starch. The rest of the corn becomes livestock feed to create meat and dairy products, corn oil, sweetener, and other food ingredients, and maybe a little carbon dioxide to make your soft drinks fizzy. Homegrown ethanol helps satisfy America's hunger for energy and the world's appetite for feed and food. Nebraska's family corn farmers, sustaining innovation.
What should you do if you see an emergency vehicle while you're driving through a roundabout? Traffic in the roundabout should not stop. Signal your turn to the right when you exit the roundabout. Exit the roundabout before pulling over to allow an emergency vehicle to pass. Please, for more information, visit the website.
Back at the Pinnacle Bank Arena, Class B State Championship early on as we begin second period action. I want to remind you, you can watch the 2014 Nebraska High School Boys Basketball Championships on your computer, on your tablet, your smart, really any mobile device you have. You can pick it up at netnebraska.org/sports or download the app, which is at netnebraska.org/apps. We actually had someone hit us up on Twitter earlier today and say, hey, I'm watching from Germany, which is great to hear. So if you have loved ones who may be displaced or not around, can't pick up NET over the air, grab the app or watch us online. (10-4) here as we begin second period play. Skutt has been effective shooting the ball early, 60% from three-point range.
Yeah, pretty good quarter offensively, only 2 turnovers. They're playing with patience. Beatrice makes you beat them. Beatrice half-court defense is not going to beat themselves.
Jump ball called as Nick Boda backs it down.
For Beatrice, 4 first-quarter turnovers. Obviously, a point that Coach Struck probably made at the timeout, trying to maximize their offensive efficiency. See if they make an adjustment, trying to go back to the ball screen with Cromer, trying to create some dribble opportunities for their guards.
I think, as you mentioned earlier, Andy, Beatrice only averages 53 points a game. This is not a team that is going to try to run it up on you. This is kind of the way they're playing, what you're seeing right now, and a good move inside off the pass. Reese Grunewald cleans it up.
Yeah, and they're going to need contributions from more of those peripheral players. Grunewald only averages 4 points a game, so creating opportunities for him. Get on the backboard, got a post, a little duck in, jump hook, great play. All those points are going to matter in a very low possession, low scoring game that this is shaping up to be.
Ramsey on the drive, baseline. Foul by Alex Cromer. Cromer picks up his second personal foul.
A really nice job on the skip pass. Ramsey attacks on the closeout. Cromer was a little late rotating over to help, and that's a big foul. He's the one low post scorer that Beatrice has, even though he's a sophomore. He's very versatile. Having him in foul trouble changes the landscape for Beatrice, not only on the defensive end with him protecting the paint, but on the offensive end trying to find ways to score.
So Ty Bardsley comes in for Cromer. Cromer will take a seat with those 2 fouls. Ramsey averages nearly 4 a game, knocks down the free throw. And it's 12-6 here. Nearly 2 minutes gone in period number 2.
But not only has Skutt used the dribble drive to create those 3 opportunities, they've been to the foul line now 4 times where they have not put Beatrice on the line so far in this game.
Great pass inside from Boda to a cutting Waldrop, who didn't finish. Bardsley had an open look. He'll reset. Good feed inside. And Grunewald with his 4th points of the game.
Yeah, really nice possession. Created a post feed over the top. Grunewald did a great job. You get post baskets by sealing and scoring early in the seal, not after you receive the ball. He got positioned, received the ball, and was able to go up and score an easy one.
And off of Beatrice, Zarbanicki touched it last. Here comes Chris Harrison back into the game. He hit 2 threes early on. Michael White will take a seat. And Nick Boda back into the game as well for William Walrich. Boda down low, uses the right hand and gets the roll. So Nick Boda with his first points of the game. First field goal.
He's been taking advantage of Cromer being out with 2 fouls. Obviously, that's an advantage Skutt has right now on the low post with Boda's size. Beatrice still very patient.
Grunewald inside, kicks it out. Shot fake, and Dakota Bus goes to the basket. Rebound put back up by Zimmerman, who can't get it to go. Then Zimmerman again, and he puts it home.
And Zimmerman's going to have to find ways to score offensively. It looks as Skutt's going to find ways to score, so Beatrice is going to have to answer. That player all season has been Zimmerman. Really nice job of not only driving, but staying after it on the offensive backboard to get the basket.
Reese Grunewald called for the foul down low on Boda.
Beatrice's goal for this game is to probably just stay within striking distance. They, yesterday against York, really had several opportunities to kind of fold shop and let York win that game, just refused to do it, and then found a way to win in 3 overtimes. So they've certainly used to playing in big games, big moments, kids that are used to winning.
Turnaround by Boda.
Pretty good piece of officiating there. Kind of both guys got to that spot at the same time, allowing the physical play of a state final game take its course.
Kicked outside, Zimmerman knocks it down. Big 3-pointer by Zimmerman.
That'll open up his drives, being able to hit a 3, forces Skutt to kind of come out and have to guard him out to the 21, 22-foot area. And then he'll be effective in his drives.
3-pointer off by O'Brien. Zimmerman brings it up the floor for Beatrice. They clear out the side for him. He'll take it. And the foul called on Grunewald. That's going to be his second personal foul. One more look.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, certainly to have that be your second, but you know, great call. You have to call it. Nicked him on the heel that forced the fall. Unfortunately for Beatrice, now that's their 2 tallest players. Grunewald and Cromer are on the bench with each having 2 fouls.
Into the game now comes Dakota Bus for Beatrice. Ball squirts loose right into Harrison's hands. And then a foul called on, I believe it was Hunter Zarbanicki. Nope, they're going to call it. Well, they called Grunewald, but it can't be because he's on the bench. So it was on Zarbanicki, I believe.
Yeah, so that's a really bad way to pick up your third when you're on the bench. Certainly, they got it corrected, and the right call, and Skutt answers with the basket.
13-18, Beatrice trailing by 5. 2 minutes to go before half. Spin, good dish to Dakota Bus, who gets the roll.
A really nice possession, starting to go through Zimmerman for all their offense.
And the foul called on, I believe, Zimmerman. It was on Zimmerman, so he picks up his first personal. Walrup knocks down the free throw.
He finds his way into the scoring column off of a 27-point semifinal win over Elkhorn South. Averaging 16 for the game. Sometimes it takes free throws to get you going. We'll see if that gives him a little confidence on the offensive end.
Zarbanicki with the shot. Let's check that, make it Bardsley with the shot. Inside, Boda finishes.
Really nice recognition by Skutt. They went 4-out motion around Boda, having the size advantage with Beatrice Biggs in foul trouble. They're able to clear out the weak side, lob it over the top for the easy basket. This is an important stretch for Beatrice. You certainly don't want to get this lead to 10 if you're Beatrice's sake. You want to try to get a basket, try to keep it within 5.
Goes off the hands of Boda and off the back of the backboard, so it will stay with Beatrice.
I think Coach Struck senses how important this offensive possession is. He's going to put Cromer back in the game. Even though he has 2 fouls for this offensive possession, probably if there's a dead ball, look to sub him right back out to make sure that he's protected on the defensive end.
Three on the way. Bardsley got it. Ty Bardsley with the three-pointer.
And even though Bardsley made that 3, having Cromer on the game forced them to almost sag off to protect the post, and it allowed them to get a 3-point shot. Great substitution by Coach Struck, and Bardsley capitalized on the opportunity.
Final seconds here of period number 2 before the half. Ramsey with it. O'Brien will pull it back out and hold for the last shot. 22-18, Skutt on top. Now O'Brien will go. O'Brien drives in, has it stripped away, out of bounds. Shot up, and that'll do it. So a physical first half between Skutt and Beatrice. And the Skyhawks on top by 4 as we head to break. First, we're going to hear from Andy Kindy. And Andy is with the head coach of the Skutt Skyhawks, Kyle Juergens.
Thank you, Larry. Coach Juergens, what did you think of the pace of the first half?
Well, to start the game, it was pretty slow. I felt like we had a couple possessions in the first, 3 or 4 minutes, but it picked up a little bit from there.
What do you think the key will be in the second half?
Well, we just got to keep competing for another 16 minutes. I mean, they're a good team, and they're here for a reason, so it's going to be a battle.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Skutt, 4-point lead over Beatrice in the Class B final. Larry?
All right, thanks, Andy. More to come here at halftime of this Class B state championship. We'll be back on NET.
Constellation believes in developing the next generation of Nebraska leaders, and we show that support by contributing to 4-H and FFA in the 60 Nebraska counties we serve. Nearly $50,000 over the past 2 years alone. Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Behind your outlet are more than 6,000 public power employees working tirelessly to generate and deliver safe, affordable, reliable electricity 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Since they are customer owners themselves, you can count on them to have your best interests and those of the community they serve at heart. Neighbors serving neighbors. That's public power.
Coverage of the NSAA Boys High School Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, NPPD, Nebraska Public Power District, the Nebraska Corn Board, Constellation, Nebraska Department of Roads, and by Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the NSAA Basketball Championships on NET. We couldn't do it without your support. Back at Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska, halftime of the Class B State Championship. Skutt Catholic on top of Beatrice 22-18 in a very defensive battle. And you heard Coach Juergens right before halftime talk about, I think he had 2 possessions in the first 4 minutes. He wasn't exaggerating. The first possession took 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, certainly the pace is more to Beatrice's favor, but Skutt can play at this pace too. They're very disciplined, which is showing. They're 7 of 14 from the floor. They're limiting their turnovers, and they're taking advantage of Beatrice being a little bit of foul trouble.
We're waiting here at halftime for the Believers and Achievers, and while we wait, we'll let you sit in and watch the Beatrice dance team. We'll be back here at halftime of the Class B State Championship game. Beatrice and Omaha Skutt on NET.
Whether it's spring planting, fall harvesting, or just a drive across the state, soy biodiesel helps a diesel-powered engine operate in a demanding job. Soybean oil from Nebraska soybeans makes biodiesel a renewable fuel that's also environmentally responsible. The soybean checkoff plays a major role in supporting the use and availability of biodiesel. The Nebraska Soybean Board, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Over the years, the Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association has supported many Nebraska athletes by helping them excel physically. But the mental game is just as important. That's why we're pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and as leaders. We're proud to team up with these exceptional individuals. Together we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
A few roundabout rules to remember. When you see the roundabout sign, slow down. Yield at the entrance, watching for other motorists and pedestrians. Roundabout traffic moves from left to right. Don't stop in the roundabout. Signal before you exit and then exit right. Roundabouts are easy to use and safer than a traditional four-way intersection, especially if you follow a few simple roundabout rules.
Constellation believes in developing the next generation of Nebraska leaders, and we show that support by contributing to 4-H and FFA in the 60 Nebraska counties we serve. Nearly $50,000 over the past 2 years alone. Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
Back at Pinnacle Bank Arena, time now for presentation of this year's Believers and Achievers. And for that, we go to our public address announcer. Here's Rich Broderson.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special halftime presentation this afternoon. Believers and Achievers is a statewide program designed by U.S. Bank and the Nebraska School Activities Association to give recognition to Nebraska's future leaders. We have 7 Nebraska high school seniors who have demonstrated academic excellence and a commitment to good citizenship. For their involvement in school and community projects, U.S. Bank and the NSAA would like to honor the Believers and Achievers who are with us today. Presenting the Believers and Achievers Awards will be U.S. Bank Representatives Nick Powers and Andrew Sakeva, and NSAA Board Chairman Ellen Gary of Medicine Valley. Our first honoree is Chase Grizzle of Pawnee City High School. Chase carries a 4.0 grade point average while participating in football, basketball, track and field, play production, speech, and music. A 4-time NCPA Academic All-State selection, Chase was a member of Pawnee City's 2013 NSAA Class C2 Play Production Championship runner-up cast, in which he was named the Outstanding Male Performer. In his school, Chase is involved in National Honor Society, in addition to volunteering in his community with DARE and the Pawnee City Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Frizzle. Ashlyn Hansen of Seward High School. Ashlyn is a 3.99 student who participates in volleyball, basketball, track and field, and music. A 6th place medalist in the discus at the 2013 NSAA Class B Track and Field Championship. Ashlyn was also a member of Seward's 2012 NSAA Class B Girls Basketball Championship team. She is a member of Future Farmers of America, National Honor Society, and Swing Choir, while volunteering in her community as a vacation Bible school teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashlyn Hansen. Kurt Karcher of Fillmore Central High School. Kurt is a straight A student who participates in football, basketball, track and field, and music. Kurt is a 7-time NCPA Academic All-State honoree and qualified for the 2013 NSAA Class C Track and Field Championships in the 3,200-meter relay and the 1,600-meter run. At Fillmore Central, he is a member of the National Honor Society, Jazz Band, and Marching Band. Kurt volunteers in his community through Adopt a Highway, Relay for Life, and 4-H. Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt Karcher. Next is Tyler Martin of Elkhorn South High School. Tyler carries a 3.98 grade point average while participating in wrestling. Tyler is a 3-time NSAA Individual Wrestling Championship qualifier, placing 4th in the Class B 170-pound weight class in 2013. A 2-time NCPA Academic All-State honoree, Tyler serves as Olympus Club Vice President, is a member of Students Against Destructive Decisions, and also volunteers at Methodist Hospital and with Habitat for Humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Martin. Natalie Tegmeyer of Bruning Davenport High School. Natalie is a 3.91 student who participates in basketball, play production, speech, and music. She was a member of Bruning Davenport's 2012 NSAA Class D2 Play Production Championship cast, as well as their 2011 and 2013 runner-up casts. She is a member of National Honor Society and Quiz Bowl while serving as class president. Natalie volunteers with the Teammates Mentoring Program and with the County Health Coalition. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Tegmeyer. Lane Vasa of Arthur County High School. Lane boasts a 4.0 GPA while participating in football, basketball, track and field, speech, and music. A 2-time NCPA Academic All-State selection in football. Lane was the 2013 John Philip Sousa Award recipient at Arthur County. While constantly being on the honor roll, Lane serves as president of National Honor Society and as treasurer of Student Council and his senior class. Lane volunteers his time with the Adopt a Highway program and as a Veterans Day volunteer. Ladies and gentlemen, Lane Vasa. Our final recipient is Brett Velasquez of Bennington High School. Brett is a straight A student while participating in wrestling, baseball, and music. A 4-time NCPA Academic All-State selection, Brett is one of 24 wrestlers in NSAA wrestling history to be a 4-time individual state champion. He provides leadership in his school as Student Senate President and is a member of National Honor Society. Brett volunteers as a youth baseball camp counselor and youth flag football referee. Ladies and gentlemen, Brett Velasquez. Folks, let's have another big round of applause for the 2013 and 14 Believers and Achievers, the future leaders
Congratulations to these student athletes and honorees of the Believers and Achievers Award. We are at halftime of the Class B state championship. Omaha Skutt on top of Beatrice. It's 22-18. Let's take a look at highlights from half number one, and it's been a story of the big guys for both teams.
Yeah, here you see 6'6" sophomore Alec Cromer showing his versatility, able to put the ball on the floor, get all the way to the lane for the layup. And then there's a little 15-foot jump shot by Cromer. Certainly will be a big factor. Was only limited to 11 minutes due to his foul trouble for Skutt. You see their big man Boda, sophomore as well, backing his way into the basket, getting two. And then here you see a really nice job of working the player up the lane. He sees the high-low pass for a layup. Boda was 4-4 in the first half. So certainly I like those highlights, Larry, being a big guy myself, seeing the success of the two sophomore big guys. And both will be big factors going into the second half.
Beatrice trails by 8. Andy Kindy is with their head coach, Tyler Struck.
All right, Larry, we were with the Orangemen's head coach. Coach, first possession, you killed about 2.5 minutes of clock. What was that for?
Yeah, we weren't really trying to hold necessarily. We just want to make sure we got a good shot first. We didn't want to drive in and throw one up. We want to make sure that our nerves were there. And our guys' credit, they waited till we got a really good shot, and it just happened to take a couple minutes.
What's going to take to win the state championship?
For us, we got to make sure we limit Buddha's touches down low, and try to make it a little tougher for him. And then we just got to keep shooting and believing in what we've been trying to do. They make their first 3 threes, and, we finally make one at the end of the half, and, it's a 4-point game, and they get 9 points on the first 3 possessions. So I still like our chances. We keep playing defense. We hold them to 20 more points this half. We're going to be all right.
Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
The Orangemen within 4, Larry, 22-18 in the Class B final.
All right, thanks, Andy, and thanks again to head coach Tyler Struck for joining us here at halftime. When we come back, third period action of the Class B championship on NET.
Participating in Nebraska high school activities has taught me about teamwork.
I've learned how to lead among my peers.
At my high school, I have set goals and I work hard to accomplish them.
I like to run on my cross country team. It makes me feel good about myself.
Thank you, Nebraska, for your support of the Nebraska School Activities Association.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Coverage of the NSAA Boys High School Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, by U.S. Bank, and by Education Quest. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring to you the NSAA Basketball Championships on NET. We couldn't do it without your support. Still a couple of minutes away from the start of the second half of the Class B State Championship, and while we wait, let's take you back to last year's Class B title game.
It was a state championship rematch as Scottsbluff took on South Sioux City in last year's Class B State Championship. Scottsbluff was ready to defend their title from the previous year. The Bearcats put up 28 points in the first half, giving them a 10-point cushion heading into the break. For the 3rd time in the state tournament, South Sioux City found themselves down 10 or more, and for the 3rd time, the Cardinals responded. South Sioux City took their first second-half lead with 38 seconds to play, but it was Jordan Comstock's layup with 2.1 seconds to go that gave South Sioux City the 55-53 victory. The Cardinals avenged the previous year's final loss to Scottsbluff and were crowned state champs in last year's Class B State Championship.
It was the 3rd time in 4 years that the Cardinals of South Sioux City won a state championship, and we're about to have another River Cities Conference team winning it again this year. In fact, this will mark 9 of the last 10. Truly an amazing run by this conference.
Yeah, I think just the season difficulty of playing in that conference, playing big games, position that conference well to be competitive in a state tournament format. Even the conference tournament midway through the year, you have to play, back-to-back nights, so it gets you ready to play in a state tournament type atmosphere. Or you win a tough game on Friday, well, you got to come back and win a state title the next day.
Yep. Hey, good time for you to log on to Facebook.com/NET Sports and like us. Become a fan. We'll keep you updated on our NET broadcast schedule, the sports schedule. You can leave comments, questions, discuss the hot sports topics, talk about the state championship games. You can join in all the fun at Facebook.com/NET Sports and be sure to like our Facebook. Oh, she's on Facebook right there. Clearly. Liking, she's saying Andy Markowski does a great job of evaluating young talent in his 4th grade basketball team.
Yeah. It's all about recruiting and players. I learned a long time ago you become a better coach with better players, Larry. And obviously there's a fantastic group of players out here in this Class B finals. And I look for a couple things. I look for, Beatrice needs Zimmerman to get going a little bit. Skutt needs Walrap, one of their leading scorers, to get going. Both have not had huge games offensively, but they're capable of leading their teams to victory with 2 quarters left to play.
So here's Boda early on going in. Boda has it slapped away, goes off the hand of a Beatrice player and out of bounds. So Ryan Boda with that first look. There's Nick Boda. He's the sophomore. Older brother is Ryan.
Yeah, the other stat column I'm going to look at is free throw shooting. Beatrice did not get to the free throw line at all in the first half, where Skutt was there 6 times and capitalized on 5 of them. So that, who can get themselves to the free throw line, who can be more aggressive to the basket. And you see Skutt there breaking down Beatrice half-court defense to get the layup.
Good take by O'Brien. 3-pointer on the way. Got it. Zarbanicki. Zarbanicki pulls them back to within 3.
And that's the resilience that we speak to with Beatrice teams. They put themselves down 5, down 7, and make the shot or the play to stay close, and then they know how to finish games that are close in the 4th quarter.
Waldrop with it, drives in, good lay-in and good take by William Walrap.
Yeah, that's abnormal. You don't see many drives against Beatrice where the driver can get all the way to the basket, and that's the 2 possessions in a row that Skutt's been able to do that.
Inside, strong move inside by Reese Gronwald. He has 6. 26-23. Walrap trying to get going. Another take to the basket. Back-to-back hoops by Walrap.
Credit Coach Juergens. I think he recognized he needed some offense. Has created a few driving opportunities for Walrap to start this 3rd quarter. And Skutt's offense has been very efficient. 3 of 3 to start the 3rd quarter.
Skip pass across to the open man. Up strong, can't get it. Rebound Cromer. And Cromer puts it in. Three on the way. Got it. Walrap lighting it up here early in the 2nd half. That's 7 points for Walrap here in the 2nd.
And that's what dribble penetration can do. Obviously, Beatrice was a little nervous with him having drove the last 2 possessions. Backed off of him, and he was skilled enough to raise up and knock in the 3.
Grunewald gives to Cromer. And Cromer. A little better pace here in the 2nd half. 31-23 Skutt. Boda drives in. Block called on the ground. No shot. That foul will be called on Gronwald, his 3rd personal foul.
Beatrice only had 10 first-half points in the paint. Obviously, that was a focus of Coach Struck to figure out how to get the ball into the lane. Gronwald gets a basket, and then Cromer has get 4 in the paint. So that's 6 early points in the paint for Beatrice.
Long 3 by Harrison. Harrison is 3 for 4 from 3-point range. Push down low. Foul called on O'Reilly Zimmerman. Tyler Struck clearly not happy.
It certainly was a long halftime with all the awards presentations, but neither team, they took it to their advantage. They were well rested, and certainly Skutt has played with more efficiency in this half.
Walrap shot is off. Rebound, Boda goes back up strong and got it off glass. Skutt up by 9, 36-27.
An important possession for Beatrice. You see the poise they play with. Certainly aren't going to get rattled. They play their style of game.
Three on the way is off. Rebound by Walrap.
I think we're going to get
Riley Zimmerman picks up another foul underneath, and that is 3 now on Zimmerman and 3 on Gronwald. And Zimmerman will take a seat, and we have a timeout on the floor. Skutt open up hot here in period number 3. They lead it 36-27.
Ever wish your bank were right at your fingertips?
Hey, honey, thanks for depositing that check for me today. Love you.
Love you too.
Love you more.
I love you way more.
You're the best.
You're way better.
You're my Huggy Bear.
In branch, online, on your iPad, iPhone, Android, or BlackBerry, U.S. Bank is there when you need us.
Growing more with less is the mantra of Nebraska's corn farmers, and they're using incredible technology to do it. Soil moisture monitors let them know when their crop needs water and how much. GPS systems eliminate overlaps in the field, saving fuel and money. New hybrids reduce the use of pesticides and increase yields. When you're talking new technology and innovation, Nebraska corn farmers are all ears. Nebraska's family corn farmers, sustaining innovation.
Welcome back to Pinnacle Bank Arena, where Skutt leads Beatrice 36-27. You might notice the student section here at Beatrice. They wear a different color every quarter. This quarter's theme is white. It's a whiteout, but you notice they're not taking off shirts. They layer their shirts. Fourth quarter will be black, guys.
Makes for a warm fourth quarter, doesn't it?
That all the moms probably didn't like that idea. It creates a little bit more of a laundry mode.
Out of the timeout, Boda. With the bucket.
Excuse me, they're really efficient right now for the game. Gross is shooting 61% for the half, 78%. So Beatrice really is going to have to focus on making some adjustments in that half court defense to slow Gross's, or excuse me, Skutt's offensive rhythm down.
Cromer back to Bardsley. Gets the screen. Grunewald now. Zarbnicki. Patient offense again here by Beatrice. And the turnover. Ryan Boda. Up to Harrison, and Skyhawks reset. Walrap drives in, no shot. Foul came before the shot on the floor. Actually called a charge.
Really good job by Grunewald. Rotating over, getting his feet set. Taking the charge right in the center of the chest. Good defensive position.
And a hold called on Ty O'Brien. Looked like he had him in a headlock. (38-27). Into Grunewald, now off to Zimmerman. Typically happens in a third game between two teams, right, Andy? I mean, you get to know each other so well.
Yeah, that was certainly the first half. Both teams are very familiar with each other's style, each other's offense. Well, Skutt has opened it up a little bit with the dribble drive. I guess his Beatrice will figure that out and adjust back. Well coached. So far, I think the difference in the game has been Skutt's half-court defense. They've really done a nice job of slowing Beatrice down. Fortunately,
hold called on. That's Grunwald. It hits his 4th personal, so Grunwald picks up foul number 4. And now in for Grunwald comes Bardsley.
really nice job by Boda. You can see the footwork. He's doing a really good job of moving his feet, accepting the ball.
Good, powerful up by Nick Boda.
And then he shows you there the ability once he receives the ball, has good touch, can play through contact. Having a really nice state final.
Push in the back called on Chris Harrison. Harrison picks up his first personal foul.
You see Beatrice is just struggling, finding offensive opportunities. Credit Skutt, they've done a terrific job on Zimmerman so far, 2 of 8 for the game. Made his drives, his shots very difficult.
Shot partially blocked, pulled down by Boda. Walrup drives to the basket, won't go. Rebound and put back by Boda, not there. Beatrice with it, down 13. 1 minute to go here. 3rd period of the Class B championship. Good drive and bucket by Cromer, and an opportunity for the three-point play. Cromer just a sophomore, talented sophomore.
Yeah, really a needed basket for Beatrice. Cromer catches, always triple threat face. Look at the basket, saw a driving lane opportunity. Once again, the strength to play through contact and finish. All important qualities for a post player. As Beatrice searches for how do you run offense effectively against Skutt's good half-court defense. Maybe you look at Cromer's matchup, put him in the mid-post, let him drive, maybe create some kickouts from there and get some threes.
Boda with the good pass to his older brother, Ryan Boda. Goes off of Boda and out of bounds.
A really nice basket cut. Fortunately, I think it got deflected just enough to force the bobble and the turnover out of bounds.
Riley Zimmerman with it now. Zimmerman leads the state in three-point shooting and just really has not been able to get going here this afternoon. Cromer hands it off now to Zimmerman. Zimmerman drives. Can't get it to go. Point advantage for Skutt.
10 seconds here.
Shot is blocked. Walrup throws it up. Walrup just off. But we are headed to the 4th period of the Class B state championship. Skutt Catholic with the lead by 11, 40-29 on top of Beatrice.
Participating in Nebraska high school activities has taught me about teamwork.
I've learned how to lead among my peers.
At my high school, I have set goals and I work hard to accomplish them.
I like to run on my cross country team. It makes me feel good about myself.
Thank you, Nebraska, for your support of the Nebraska School Activities Association.
Hey Mom, I need to talk to you about something. You took me on campus visits and helped me with college applications, but there's still something we haven't done yet. It's time to complete the FAFSA so I can get financial aid. I know you've been stressed out about this, but don't worry. Education Quest has tons of resources on their website to make the process really easy. You guys have been there for me every step of the way. Just returning the favor.
Get help with your FAFSA at educationquest.org.
Welcome back to Pinnacle Bank Arena. Skutt leads Beatrice in the Class B final, 40-29. Andy Kennedy outside the Skyhawk fan base. Skyhawks like to accessorize. They not only wear black shirts, but they also bring their gold medals won in sports like football, softball, soccer, wrestling, dance, and mock trial. These gold medals all won in the last year, Larry. That's impressive.
Wow. Wearing the gold. We're getting close to the wearing of the green, right? Shot from outside. Bardsley just off. Beatrice looking for something to get them going offensively. 29 points through 3 periods. They trail by 11 and then a block by Bardsley. Check that on Zarbanicki.
Second, 15 foul against Beatrice.
Beatrice sensing that no rhythm in the half-court offense, so look to pick up full, maybe try to get a turnover and an easy basket, get back in that rhythm. Skutt did such a tremendous job yesterday against Elkhorn South of handling that full-court pressure.
5-second called, closely guarded. And the turnover by Skutt.
See if Beatrice can get the ball on the Cromer in the post here.
Good drive by Bardsley. Short jumper falls. Back to within single digits now at 40-31.
Bardsley and Cromer have played well together, kind of an inside-outside for a 3 and their little side ball screen, and Bardsley was able to come off it and knock in a short jumper, so maybe that's a little isolation that they can go to here to get them back in the game.
40-31, 9-point lead by Skutt. The timeout called by Kyle Juergens, the first-year head coach of Omaha Skutt. NET is your ticket to exciting sports action right in your living room, like these high school state championships you're watching today. You can help us deliver these sports programs into your living room by becoming a member of our Sports Partners Club. Your contribution helps to ensure that your favorite sports programs continue for years to come right here on NET. And you'll also get some great thank you gifts with our appreciation for your support. So log on to netnebraska.org/sportspartners and help us continue to bring terrific sports programming like this into your living room across the entire state of Nebraska for years to come. Become a member today. You love your Orangemen and you love your Skyhawks, please go love your NET. 40-31, 7 minutes to go. Nick Boda with it. Boda backing down. Cromer getting up high. Cromer. And then the turnover to Boda. And Harrison will reset.
Yeah, really unfortunate for Beatrice. You got the turnover. You had a chance to go and cut in this 9-point lead and turned it right back over. See if their defense can hold up here and get another stop.
Blocking called on, I believe that was on Cromer.
Yeah, good call. Cromer tries to accept the charge, but you can see he took on his left shoulder versus taking it in the center of your chest.
Cromer with the rebound, good defensively.
Nice stop by Beatrice. Now they need to put a little game pressure and try to get a basket here.
Bardsley with the jumper. He's warmed up here in half number 2. Ty Bardsley now with 7 points.
Yeah, once again, worked the Cromer-Bardsley combination on the left-hand side of the court. Forced help into the post, which created an opportunity for Bardsley to pull up and knock in the short jump shot.
Ty O'Brien up top, resets it for Skutt. Inside. Boda with the move, and Boda is fouled, and I believe that's going to be number 4 on Alec Cromer. Nope, check that. Zarbinecki picks it up. That's his 3rd.
A really nice half-court offense for Skutt, knowing Boda's having a really efficient basketball game, is in rhythm. That's his 16th point.
Then tipped away by Harrison. Defensively, great heads-up play from the backside.
Yeah, we talked about turnovers and trying to maximize your possessions. Those really help your ability to win a close game when those are more in your favor than not.
They've taken 2 possessions away the last 2 times from Beatrice. And a turnover after the rebound. As Ryan Boda goes up strong, Ryan fouled. And Ryan Boda will go to the line, the 6'3" senior forward. All-state in football, terrific defender. Misses the first. Gronwald back into the game now for the Orangemen with 4 fouls. So watch Reese Gronwald, number 33, re-entering. And a hold called on Walrup. Walrup gets called for the foul. Kind of a sneaky little play. I've seen the Orangemen do it a couple of times. They get the hand in there. They pinch down on that arm to get the call, right?
Yeah, he certainly, you kind of reach and
he
they
pinches the arm.
They kind of tuck it. And
keeps it pinched and gets the call.
Certainly has worked in their favor so far in this game.
Times, yeah. And a travel called on Bardsley. (41-33). 4:50 to go. Omaha Skutt has held a comfortable lead throughout this second half. A hold down low called on Zimmerman. Zimmerman picks up his 4th personal foul. So now 3 Beatrice players with 4 fouls. Zimmerman, Gronwald, and Cromer. Zimmerman will take a seat.
I thought the free throw line would be a big stat in the second half. Skutt has found themselves on the line, however, only 1 of 4, so really haven't taken advantage of it.
Ryan Boda knocks down that one. Boda had 20 points in that win over Scotts Bluff in the first round. 15 of those came in the second half. And he knocks down both free throws.
Yeah, key possession for Beatrice here, down double figures. Certainly no time to panic, but you have to maximize your offense. Having Cromer out in foul trouble certainly limits.
On the drive, Landon Zarbinecki is fouled. Ty O'Brien picks up the foul. That's only his 2nd. 6th team foul. Zarbinecki comes up short on the first.
Hopefully Zarbinecki can make the second one. Maybe allow Beatrice to set some full court pressure here, see if they can generate a turnover.
Quick timeout called by Tyler Struck after the made free throw. Just his second year in Beatrice. He coached a girls high school ball in Iowa prior to that. Replaced the legendary Jim Weeks, who has gone on to coach at Doane College. You know, as more states legalize medical marijuana, routine traffic stops often turn into marijuana busts along I-80 in Nebraska. The quality and quantity and even public acceptance of marijuana are on the rise, putting Nebraska at a crossroads. NET News explores the growing legal marijuana industry and the consequences for Nebraska in Marijuana Crossroads. That's Monday night at 10:30 Central on NET1 and available on the NET Nebraska app.
Here you see the full court pressure. Skutt's done a great job of taking care of the basketball this game. Only 7 turnovers.
And a foul called on Beatrice. I believe that was Dakota Buss coming from the backside, and there's the foul trouble you see for the Orangemen. 3 players with 4 fouls, still 4 minutes to go in the game.
The foul trouble creates so much difficulty for a coaching staff. You're trying to figure out offense, defense strategies, matchups, who's more comfortable maybe guarding another player where they won't commit that 5th foul. The other thing, it affects players in terms of rhythm. You know, you're coming in and out of games as you're in foul trouble. Just foul trouble always creates difficulties, especially as the pressure is ratcheted up where you're down 10 and you know you have to maximize each possession.
So Cromer with 4 fouls back into the game, as well as Zimmerman with 4 fouls back into the game for this offensive possession. Zarbanicki kicks it back out. Hunter Zarbanicki is off. Rebound, Chris Harrison.
Yeah, good possession, little inside out penetration, get a 3 for a teammate. Unfortunately for Beatrice, just have not shot the basketball very well, especially from the 3, just 3 of 8 so far today.
Good hustle by Skutt to get to the loose ball.
See Skutt's comfort of shortening the game. You don't want to lose aggressiveness by doing this. You still want to make sure you attack. When you're up 11, certainly taking a couple minutes off the clock here will increase your chances to win.
Ball tipped away, and it goes off of Zimmerman. Stays with Skutt.
And that's what you always have to guard against. It's great to shorten the game, 30, 45 seconds a minute, but if you're turning over, especially turnovers that lead to Beatrice offense, certainly aren't the possessions that you want, but this is the time and score that coaches drill into their teams, these scenarios. How well you execute the end of quarters, how well you execute late game, typically decide how successful your season are, and especially in this moment, if you can increase your chances of winning a state title.
So Zimmerman and Cromer both went to the bench. High lob into Boda, and he's fouled and will now be at the line. 11-point Skutt lead, and they'll try to add to it. Zimmerman, Cromer now back in. Boda with 16 points, 7 of 9 from the floor. And now 3 of 6 from the free throw line. 17 points. 46-34, 12-point advantage. Zimmerman with the open 3 look. Well off. Ball hit the end line, so out on Beatrice. Didn't touch any rim nor Skutt Catholic player.
Yeah, once again, a great job of half-court defense for Skutt. Challenging every shot Beatrice has had from the perimeter has been contested. Obviously, as the game goes on, the more shots you can contest, the lower field goal percentage defense you're going to play.
Harrison double teamed and then fouled. Foul called on Ty Bardsley. So that's Bardsley's second personal foul. And Skutt fans beginning to feel it. Up by 12, 3 minutes to go. Harrison makes it 13.
A really nice game for Chris Harrison. Has found multiple ways to contribute. Hit a few early threes. Got Skutt off to such a good start. 13 points, a couple rebounds, a couple of those steals in the fourth quarter where Beatrice really tried to get from 9 maybe down to 7. He was able to generate a couple of those loose ball steals. All of those are winning plays by Harrison to help his team win a state title.
3 on the way from the outside by Zarbanicki is off. Rebound by Hunter Zarbanicki. He drives in, goes off of Skutt and out. It will stay with the Orange. And there's Tyler Struck, takes the timeout. Struck has, as we said, been there 2 years. You know, he was on Greg McDermott's staff at UNI, Northern Iowa. Said Greg was a tremendous influence on him. Done great things in just his 2 years with the Orangemen. Both an administrative and assistant and a GA for McDermott from 03 to 06. Well, if you'd like a DVD copy of this game or any of today's NSAA Boys Basketball Championships games, just give us a call at 800-868-1868. You can also go online at netnebraska.org and pick up a copy of these state championships. Anyone today or last week, our swimming championships, wrestling, by calling that number right there, 800-868-1868. And keep these state championship memories for a lifetime.
He's going to have to call on some of that Greg McDermott magic. I think Greg is one of the better X's and O coaches in the country. I've followed Greg for a long time. McDermott coached at Wayne State, North Dakota State, Northern Iowa, competed. And now is the time that you reach into that knowledge, try to find a set, maybe an inbounds play to get a 3, give your team a spark. It's always nice to have a player like Doug McDermott when you draw those plays up.
That's right. That's right. Bardsley with the 3. Off the front, tipped around, and tipped into the hand of Nick Boda.
Yeah, you really have to credit Skutt's defense. I think they've made it difficult. They've challenged shots. They've rebounded well. Quality team, very balanced.
Walrip on the fast break converts at the other end, and he's warmed up certainly in this second half. One more look at it. Walrip now with 11 in the game.
Yeah, there's players that can play at different speeds. You see him kind of explode out to get an opportunity to lay up, but recognize the defense was going to close out and be able to stop, have the body control to do that and lay it off the glass. Great play.
Misses the rebound. Boda comes down with it, and they foul. Ryan Boda.
Certainly, if you look at Skutt having Walrap back, only a junior.
Right.
And you have that inside presence in Nick Boda. Certainly 2 players that they can build around for the future. Both have been very productive in their first state final.
Second shot by Boda, short. Lane violation called on Ryan Boda. Entered a little early. So 51-34. As Skutt really opens up this lead as we near the 2-minute mark to go in the game. Zarbanicki will bring it up against Ty O'Brien. Zimmerman looks inside for Cromer. Now Cromer with it. 3-pointer blocked by Nick Boda. Out guarding near the 3-point line. Walrip drives in, and Cromer with the block. Cromer there to clean it up, and he's fouled on the push by Nick Boda. Nick Boda picks up his 3rd personal foul, and that will put Cromer at the line.
Just a credit to Cromer, not only did he get the block shot and rebound on that one side, sprints down the court, assumes everything is going to be missed. Is able to gather it in, get fouled, get to the free throw line.
11 points now for Cromer in the game as Zimmerman takes a seat.
Certainly a bright future for Alec Cromer, just been a sophomore.
Gronewell back into the game now for the Orange. Walrip with it. The foul called on Hunter Zarbanicki. Zarbanicki picking up his 4th personal foul. And it becomes less and less of a factor, but now 4 Orangemen with 4 fouls. And just 1:40 to go and a 15-point advantage. Make it 16. And Skutt on their way to picking up their first state championship since 2007. They were a runner-up in 2010, but they won it in back-to-back years in 06 and 07. Both free throws are good.
A tremendous second half for Skutt. You know, you wonder if the triple overtime win for Beatrice in the semis affected their legs a little bit. Certainly the quicker, more aggressive team in the second half was Skutt. You have to credit the kids, the game plan, but fatigue is one of those overlooked things in a 3-day tournament. You never know how much impact it has, but certainly could have contributed to Beatrice just really struggling from the floor, making shots. You know, a step slow on defense, foul trouble, all those things start to add up that maybe a little fatigue did set in. Beatrice has some building blocks for the future, though. As we mentioned, Cromer just being a sophomore. Zarbanicki, Landon anyway, is a sophomore, and Bardsley's a junior. So 3 critical pieces to their team are back. So my guess is these 2 teams are going to be in the thick of it again next year.
Get it into Walrip. Walrip throws it up. Boda went after it, and the foul called on, like Bardsley picked up that foul, so that will be the 3rd on Bardsley. And back to the line goes Ryan Boda. Quite a season for Kyle Juergens, the head coach of Omaha Skutt Catholic. Skyhawks 21-6 on the year in his first year at Skutt.
You mentioned earlier you set the bar high for yourself when you win a state title in year 1. Hopefully the next year, no matter what you do, is always a little disappointing unless you just keep winning state titles. But great kids, great team, and tremendous adjustments made at halftime.
Right.
Certainly they've come out in the second half and really have played a very good half of basketball.
Good drive by Riley Zimmerman. Zimmerman now with 9, cutting that lead to 14, and a quick timeout called by Tyler Struck to set something up. It's a good opportunity as we're in the middle of a timeout for you to send us an email. We'd love to hear what you think. Give us your feedback on the coverage of the NSAA High School Basketball Championships. Our sports team really focuses on delivering you the best possible coverage that we can across the entire state, whether it's high school athletics or collegiate events. We'd love to know what you think of our championship coverage right here on NET Sports. So send us your thoughts at sports@netnebraska.org. You see it on your screen, sports@netnebraska.org, and help us continue to provide some quality programming right here on NET Sports. Andy might even listen to what you have to say if it's kind.
Only positive,
right. We should put that in the read, right? Only send us your comments if they're positive.
Or constructive criticism.
Oh, there you go.
We all have to learn to take constructive criticism.
The quick timeout called by Skutt. Failed to get it inbound. So with 1:15, the timeout, 54-50. Kyle Juergens with a 9-month-old daughter at home. Wife Stephanie celebrating their first year at Skutt, and what a way to do it. Said some of his mentors, among his mentors, Chip Baugh, who's of course the former head coach at Millard North, who's now an assistant coach at Hastings under the former Beatrice head coach, Weeks.
Jim Weeks is at
You're
Doane.
right.
Yep.
He's at Doane. Yes, you're right.
Bill Gavers, former Grand Island Central Catholic coaches at Hastings.
That's right.
So.
Yep.
And, you know, coaches all steal from other coaches, and teachers learn from other teachers, and having that experience of being under guys that have had success, you know, and being able to take over your team and mold your own style, but still from coaches previously. You got to credit Coach Juergens, because, you know, year one, you're trying to create your own identity, and to be able to do that in the culture of winning and winning a state title is just tremendous.
Chris Harrison knocks down the free throw. Second one good as well.
Now this Skutt group has their medals, so they can go and support other Skutt athletics and wear the hardware.
That's right.
That culture it's certainly contagious, not only in a program like boys basketball, but obviously the Skutt culture of being successful in athletics is very contagious, and credit to the kids of the school and the support.
Great drive by Ty Bardsley, who gets the two, and a chance for a three-point play. And now we're seeing changes from both teams. As into the game for the first time comes Jalen Weeks, number 23. Dakota Buss also into the game. Landon Zarnicki, and back in comes Kronwald. Nick Buda, you see, fouled out. Buda finished with 17 points. Averages 10 a game in just his sophomore year. Now Ty O'Brien at the line. O'Brien just a terrific all-around athlete, plays football, baseball. He's a senior.
Yeah, rare to see three-sport athletes anymore. Certainly credit to the kid Ty O'Brien to be able to balance school and competing in fall, winter, and spring sports.
Good pass underneath to Cromer. And Alec Cromer with another two. So Cromer now with 14 in the game. Beatrice takes a 30-second timeout. This is the final game of our first session. The second session coming up right here on NET. Beginning later this afternoon, and it's going to be Class C2 as Bergen takes on Ainsworth at 4:30 right here on NET Sports. So following this game, we'll have the trophy medal presentation. You'll hear from the champions and the players, and then we'll take a quick break and be back with you right here on NET at 4:30 this afternoon for Bergen and Ainsworth. Ainsworth coming in the #1 seed. .57-45. Foul on the inbounds pass. We'll put Skutt back at the line, and Skutt just trying to knock down free throws here. Just continue to knock down free throws. They are 20 for 28. And here in this second half, 15 of 22.
And they've made a lot recently. I think they're 1 of 5 or 1 of 4 to start the third quarter from the free throw line. So certainly in the fourth quarter have taken advantage of those opportunities and really have made it hard on Beatrice to cut this back to single digits.
Walrup saves it. Back into play, and Harrison is fouled right away by Bardsley. Seen a few of those plays, those hustle plays here in this second half where Skutt's just getting to that loose ball a little more quickly than Orange.
Yeah, but we discussed it. I think fatigue played a part. You know, certainly Beatrice has prided themselves for years and years and years on winning the 50-50 balls. And the second half, they're just a step slow, and that's really been the difference.
Harrison knocks them both. 14-point lead now, inside a minute to go. Harrison's three is off. Walrup with it. And they'll let this run down.
You can see the culture of Beatrice. They really they fought down to the wire. They just ran into a really, really good Skutt team. Very balanced. You know, good guards, good posts, good game plan.
And that will tick it away. And Omaha Skutt Catholic wins the Class B state championship. Final 59-45, Skutt over Beatrice. Head coach Kyle Juergens in his first year on the Skutt campus takes home a state title. And when we come back, we'll have medal and trophy presentations right here on NET.
When you've been around for more than a century, you understand the power of generations, the value of nurturing and developing those who will carry on the legacy of agriculture and food production. That's why the Aurora Cooperative helps young people gain the experience, expertise, and wisdom to feed the world, be good stewards, become responsible community leaders, and continue setting the example for the generations that follow. The Aurora Cooperative, growing opportunities.
Large trucks and trailers can easily drive through a state highway roundabout. The center of the roundabout has a low raised area for larger vehicles to drive over if necessary. It's called the apron. Visit the website for more information about driving a roundabout.
Coverage of the NSAA Boys High School Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, NPPD, Nebraska Public Power District, the Nebraska Corn Board, Constellation, Nebraska Department of Roads, and by Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the NSAA Basketball Championships on NET. We couldn't do it without your support. Back to Pinnacle Bank Arena, Lincoln, Nebraska, Omaha Skutt cutting down the nets. They're your state champs in Class B. Before we get to medal and trophy presentations, we have another special presentation. Let's go to Rich Broderson for that.
The Nebraska School Activities Association, the Nebraska Coaches Association, and the Nebraska Athletic Administrators Association are proud to support positive sportsmanship during the state championships and throughout the season. At this time, we are pleased to present the Sportsmanship Awards for the classes C1 and B. The trophies are graciously donated by Awards Unlimited. The sportsmanship program is underwritten by the Nebraska Independent College Foundation. Making the presentations are Terry Brown, UPS Health and Safety Manager, and a NICF Board of Trustee, NCAA President Jim LeMaster of Adams Central. Representing the NSAA is Seward Athletic Director Kevin Zimmerman, and NSAA Board of Director Dr. Brian Maher of Kearney. The Class C1 Sportsmanship Award winner is Wayne High School. Representing the Blue Devils are students and administration. Congratulations, Wayne High School. For Class B, the Sportsmanship Award winner is Northwest High School. Representing Northwest are Viking students, players, and coaches. Congratulations, Northwest High School. The Nebraska School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director Rhonda Blanford Green and Board of Directors Dr. Bob Resnichek from Boys Town and Mark Norvell from Fillmore Central, plus U.S. Bank Representative Nick Powers and also Representative Andrew Sakeva. Here are the awards for Class B runner-up, Beatrice High School. Will head coach Tyler Struck and her assistants please step toward the middle of the court to present the silver medals to each team member. Players, as your name is called, please come forward to receive your medal. Number 4, Braden Morrison. Number 10, Ty Bardsley. Number 11, Landon Zarmanicki. Number 12, Heath Huvendick. Number 21, Christian Hartig. Number 24, Zach Pinkerton. Number 32, Andrew Veneman. Number 44, Alec Cromer. And now to the seniors, number 3, Hunter Zarmanicki. Number 20, Riley Zimmerman. Number 23, Jalen Weeks. Number 30, Dakota Buss. Number 33, Reese Gronwall. And number 34, Devin Stewart. All of you are welcome to receive the runner-up trophy for your school. Congratulations, Beatrice High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to the champions. First, head coach Kyle Juergens. We have a special award for you. Now, coach, hand out the gold medals to your championship team members. Number 3, Brendan Lofgren. Number 5, Alec Zaitchek. Number 14, Michael White. Number 20, Matt Harrison. Number 22, Isaiah Ramsey. Number 25, Eric Rudin. Number 30, Wills Walrap. Number 32, Matt Gilreath. Number 40, Conrad Shue. Number 42, Adam Hanna. Number 55, Nick Boda. And now to the seniors, number 10, Ty O'Brien. Number 12, Chris Harrison. And number 45, Ryan Boda. Presenting the team championship game ball from Farmers Mutual Insurance, telephone claims manager Chad Lyons will present to head coach Kyle Juergens. And now, for these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2014 Class B NSAA Basketball Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Omaha Skutt Catholic High School.
Outstanding season by the Skyhawks from Skutt Catholic, finishing the year 22-6, and they win the school's third state basketball championship, 2006, 2007, and this year in 2014. Backstage with Tyler Struck, the head coach of the Beatrice Orangemen. Here's Andy Kindy.
Thank you, Larry. You know, it's unfortunate that a team has to finish the season with a loss, but, you know, on the bright side, you leave with a nice trophy and a great experience. What do you take from this experience at state?
Yeah, you know, we told our guys even before the season started that our one goal is to make it to state, you know, and then once we got here, then we said, okay, now it's to make it to Saturday. And, you know, at this time, you know, we play Omaha Skutt, a team that we've played 2 times before. It's our 3rd time. It was going to come down to whoever made plays, you know, and you got to give them a ton of credit. They made some plays. And I'd like to give our guys some credit, too. We made them make plays that we wanted them to make. You know, obviously, other than them getting it down low, we made them make some threes and take some shots that we hoped they wouldn't make. And to their credit, they made them today.
Yeah, what about that third quarter when they kind of chipped away? Every time that you had an answer, they had another answer. It was one of those deals.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we led Class B in points per game at 40 points per game given up. You know, and so when they had 22, I told our guys, if they only score 22 more, we're going to win. The problem was they scored 22 in the third quarter. You know, we made our run like we had done all year in the second half. We made some adjustments. Our guys handled it great, and we made our run. The problem was we didn't get stops when we needed to, you know, and that just was that was the difference.
You had a great year. You lose a good chunk of your senior class, those 6 seniors leaving you. What do you say to them as they depart?
You know, obviously, I can't thank them enough for the effort they put in the last 2 years, you know, and we lose 3 guys that started and played a lot and 3 role players that did a great job off the bench when the number was called, but their leadership and attitude is what we're going to miss, and our juniors and sophomores have big shoes to fill because we're really going to miss those guys.
Well, the Beatrice Orangemen finished the season at 22-3, runners-up in Class B. Larry?
Andy, congratulations on a great season to Beatrice, and congratulations to the champions from Skutt Catholic. The Skyhawks win it 59-45.
This isn't the sweet corn that humans eat. It's the field corn that most Nebraska farmers grow. And it satisfies the appetite of a growing world by providing livestock feed, renewable fuel, bioplastics, and much more. You can't eat field corn, But the economic impact of the billion bushels that Nebraska farmers grow each year is still pretty darn sweet. Nebraska's family corn farmers, sustaining innovation.
Over the years, the Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association has supported many Nebraska athletes by helping them excel physically. But the mental game is just as important. That's why we're pleased to sponsor the NSAA Academic All-State Award Program, recognizing students and athletes who shine in the classroom and as leaders. We're proud to team up with these exceptional individuals. Together, we can continue to make Nebraska a great place to live, learn, and play.
Programming on NET television is provided in part by the Dr. Tom and Dorothy Hallstrom Inspire Nebraska Athletics Endowment.
For these boys, the Gettysburg Address is one challenge they'll never forget.
Dyslexia, ADHD. So much focus has been on what they're not good at. That they don't realize what they're good at.
From Ken Burns, The Address.
Coming soon to NET1.
Coverage of the NSAA Boys High School Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Nebraska, by U.S. Bank, and by Education Quest. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring to you the NSAA Basketball Championships on NET. We couldn't do it without your support. Back at the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska, the Class B State Championship complete. Omaha Skutt wins it over Beatrice 59-45, and you heard Coach Tyler Struck. Every time, they really did what they wanted to do in that second half. They just gave up a few too many points, and Skutt hit the shots they needed to hit.
Yeah, Walrap was more aggressive to start that third quarter, getting the ball to the basket, which helped that field goal percentage being 48%. Certainly efficient, 5 and 10 from the three-point line. Got to the free throw line. Obviously, a lot of those were inflated with Beatrice fouling late. Beatrice couldn't get to the free throw line when it mattered. Really, the Skutt defense with challenging shots, blocking out, rebounding, not fouling, and then the backboard turnovers were very consistent. But I thought Skutt played a complete game. Beatrice, that third quarter really started lacking some energy. I think fatigue played a part of that. Still shot 44% from the floor, but was unable to make some of those threes that maybe could have tightened that game in the third and early fourth quarter.
We will be back here at Pinnacle Bank Arena with head coach Kyle Juergens of the Skutt Catholic Champs. We'll hear from the players as well. Stay with us.
No matter how you look at it, animal agriculture helps Nebraska's economy. The livestock industry provides increased tax revenues for schools and community services. Livestock enterprises also create jobs while contributing to existing businesses such as local banks and grocery stores. A thriving livestock industry helps maintain our current way of life, but also provides opportunities for the next generation of farm families. The Nebraska Soybean Checkoff helps to raise awareness of the importance of animal agriculture to Nebraska.
When you've been around for more than a century, you understand the power of generations, the value of nurturing and developing those who will carry on the legacy of agriculture and food production. That's why the Aurora Cooperative helps young people gain the experience, expertise, and wisdom to feed the world, be good stewards, become responsible community leaders, and continue setting the example for the generations that follow. The Aurora Cooperative, growing opportunities.
Welcome back inside Pinnacle Bank Arena with the Skutt Skyhawks, your Class B state champions, 59-45 over Beatrice. Andy Kendi along with the Skutt head coach, Mr. Kyle Juergens. Kyle, this is your first year as a head coach, and you win the state championship. You know it's not easy, but how do you feel right now?
Oh, I mean, it's an unbelievable feeling. A lot of credit goes to our coaching staff. Specifically Coach Dave Eckley was a, big help to me all season, along with all the other coaches. And then ultimately the kids, they bought into working hard, practicing hard, and we came with a mindset that once you get here, it's one game at a time and anybody can win it.
Talk to me about the third quarter. It was kind of back and forth, and then you go on a 10-2 run near the end of the quarter that really gave you guys breathing room.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like to start the half, it was just kind of we were trading baskets a little bit, and then we were able to get some stops, make some shots and get the ball inside.
Okay, this is the first state title since what, 2007?
You bet.
Okay, so what does this mean for the school as a whole?
I mean, it's great for our kids. We haven't been down to the state tournament in about 4 years, and so, we were excited to get there, and them get this experience, but in terms of our younger players, hopefully it's motivation for them to just continue to work hard to get down here.
Yeah, you only lose 3 seniors, so this could set the stage for years to come, correct?
Yeah, we have some, good young players, and like I said, hopefully, this gets them to work that much harder to get back here because it's sweet.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. The Skutt Skyhawks, your Class B state champions. We'll hear from some of the Skyhawk players straight ahead as they are the state champions in 2014.
Constellation believes in developing the next generation of Nebraska leaders, and we show that support by contributing to 4-H and FFA in the 60 Nebraska counties we serve. Nearly $50,000 over the past 2 years alone. Constellation provides natural gas for Nebraska homes, farms, ranches, and businesses. Through our support for 4-H and FFA, we're providing energy for Nebraska's future as well. Natural gas from Constellation.
When something's difficult, like defying gravity, or navigating the new healthcare law, why face it alone? Call or visit us at the Blue Store at nebraskablue.com. Ask Blue your questions, like what's required and can I get help paying for it? Then rely on Blue to help you navigate the system. Most Nebraskans are required to have health insurance or face penalties. Time is almost up. Get what you need. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska.
Back in Lincoln at Pinnacle Bank Arena, where the Skutt Skyhawks are your Class B state champions, 59-45 over Beatrice. Chris Harrison is one of the seniors for the Skyhawks. He joins me now. Chris, congratulations. What does this feel like, though? You're holding the trophy.
Oh, it's crazy. I don't think it's really set in yet, to be honest with you.
What is the key to today? I mean, what won it for you guys?
We've always just worked on defense and always tried to be the hardest working team.
You know, I was going to say, at what point this weekend, or maybe it was earlier in the year, that said this team could win the state championship?
We've always had the goal from summer. We've always said it. I don't know, just kind of set in.
And I know that you're not going to play athletics at the collegiate level, so going out on top, what is this feeling like for you?
No, it's pretty fun. I don't think it's set in, like I said, but...
No practice tomorrow.
Nope, no practice.
Right. All right, let's hand off the trophy to Wills Walrep, the junior forward. He had 13 points, 6 rebounds. Wills, hey, congratulations, man. Let's talk a little bit about this game. What was the key in your mind to victory?
I think defense started it. I mean, if we bought into that, they couldn't really score. So.
And you guys went on a big run towards the end of the third quarter. How important was that to kind of distance yourself from Beatrice?
It gave us some breathing room, like Coach said, so it just gave us a little room to play more.
So you guys, this is the third time you guys have played. You split the earlier meetings. Why were you so successful today?
Coach had a game plan, and we just followed that to point.
Game plan was?
Guard them.
Guard them.
Guard them. Yeah.
Guard them and score them.
Yeah, pretty much.
Coach is a genius. That's awesome. Hey, thanks so much, Wills. Let's pass along. Let's bring in the big fella, Ryan Boda, senior forward. Here, Ryan's another guy that's not going to play basketball in college. So what is this feeling like to cap your athletic career? You won a state championship in football, now in basketball. What's going through your head?
It's been kind of a crazy senior year. It's coming to an end, but it's been exciting to win 2 state championships and get to become so close with all my teammates.
And to beat Beatrice, a team that you lost to early in the year, how sweet is that?
It's nice, and we wanted to come back and play hard. And I mean, we didn't really change our game plan. We just wanted to get up on them on defense a little more and show them that we could do it.
Yeah, you play with Nick there. What is that like? What has that experience been like for you?
Yeah, that's been a really, really good experience playing with my brother.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no.
He's not laughing. He's not laughing,
no,
folks. Okay.
I love him. It's been awesome, and it was a good way to go out, and I know he did it for me.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's got to be pretty gratifying, a pretty proud older brother moment for you.
Yeah, it's been really awesome.
All right, let's bring in younger brother. Come on in. Bringing in Nick Boda. He had 17 points, 9 rebounds, 1 rebound away from a double-double. Hey, hearing your brother say that, what's going through your head?
I mean, I'm really proud of him, and it was kind of an honor to send him out like that, and it means a lot to him, and so I'm really proud.
Especially not just him, but the whole senior class. What have those guys meant to you guys?
They've been great. I got to know them a lot over last year and this year, and they're probably the best senior class I would have ever wanted to play with. So they're a lot of fun.
I know this is a culmination of a long year, a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears. Yeah. What is this feeling like for you as you leave state champions for 2014?
I mean, it's a feeling like nothing else, but saying that we just have to come back next year, and me and Wills are going to hopefully get it done again. So I guess we're just thinking about next year now.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Congratulations. The Skutt Skyhawks, your Class B state champions, 59-45 over Beatrice here in Lincoln.
Behind your outlet are more than 6,000 public power employees working tirelessly to generate and deliver safe, affordable, reliable electricity 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Since they are customer owners themselves, you can count on them to have your best interests and those of the community they serve at heart. Neighbors serving neighbors. That's public power.
Technology has taken over gambling. Now we have internet gambling and mobile gambling. And this is going to revolutionize how young people are introduced to gambling.
We have Fantasy League, where it's no longer just a simple bet on one game. We're making it more interactive and a little more challenging.
You can get on the internet, start betting on any kind of sports you want to, and now with smartphones and everything else, you can do it right from your phone.
Adolescents and young adults think they're smarter than everyone else. They have no fear of anything, that they can actually outsmart, outwit any individual or, in fact, the casino.
Woo! I just won! And I beat all these 40, 50-year-olds. 500,000 chips. I'm only like 12.
Coming in May to NET1.
Coverage of the NSAA Boys High School Basketball Championships on NET is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, NPPD, Nebraska Public Power District, the Nebraska Corn Board, Constellation, Nebraska Department of Roads, and by Aurora Cooperative. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the NSAA Basketball Championships on NET. We couldn't do it without your support. Back at Pinnacle Bank Arena along with Andy Kindy and Andy Markowski, I'm Larry Putney. Good to have you with us as we wrap up the Class B championship. It was an impressive performance by Skutt.
Absolutely. Very complete. Defensively, really played well for 4 quarters. Offensively, had kind of a slow first half, but managed to increase the tempo, get to the basket in the second half, and really, really quality win for Omaha Skutt.
For Beatrice, I mean, getting here to a state championship, a second year under their second-year head coach, quite an accomplishment, and they lose a lot, so they've got some work to do for next year.
Yeah, but Beatrice has always figured it out. They got great youth programs. They do have some Cromer. Being a sophomore inside was kind of a difference in that game. So they'll be back, and it's fun to see Beatrice here because it just shows you that hard work and youth programs and all that matter, and they certainly deliver on all that.
So we've crowned 3 state champions already today. Bishop Neumann bright and early this morning. Randolph won it in Class D1. Then just now in Class B, it was Skutt over Beatrice. Coming up today at 4:30, we have Ainsworth and Bergen. That's for the Class C2 championship. Fremont Bergen takes on Ainsworth right here at Pinnacle Bank Arena at 4:30, and we'll be back here with all the game highlights, and hope you join us today, 4:30 from the Pinnacle Bank Arena. Along with Andy, I'm Larry, and Andy Markowski, Andy Kindy. We'll see you later this afternoon.